Imagine holding the person you love most in your arms as they take their last breath. Imagine promising them in that final moment that the world will never forget their name. And then imagine spending the next 22 years and every coin in your empire keeping that promise. This is not a fairy tale. This is not a myth. This is the true story of a king who loved his wife so deeply that he built her a palace in death that millions still travel to see 400 years later. A building so perfect that poets call it a tear on the cheek of time. A building made of white marble, decorated with 28 types of precious jewels, designed by architects from across the world, built by 20,000 workers, and finished with a love that no army could defeat and no enemy could destroy. This is the story of Shah Jahan, and this is the story of the Taj Mahal. If you are ready to learn English through one of the greatest love stories ever told, then stay with me. This story is about to awaken something inside you. The year is 1607. India is not one country. It is a collection of kingdoms, languages, and cultures, all woven together like threads in a magnificent carpet. And ruling over the richest part of this land is the Mughal Empire. The Mughals came from Central Asia. They were warriors, poets, and builders. They brought with them a love of art, gardens, and architecture that would change the face of India forever. At the center of this empire stands a young prince. His name is Khurram. He is 15 years old. He is 15 years old. He is intelligent, brave, and already a skilled soldier. But today, at the royal market, he is not thinking about war. He is thinking about a girl. Her name is Arjamand Banu Begum. She is 14 years old, and according to the stories passed down through centuries, she is so beautiful that the moon itself hides in shame when she walks under the night sky. But Khurram does not fall in love with her beauty alone. He falls in love with her mind. He falls in love with her mind. He falls in love with her kindness. He falls in love with her laugh. They meet in the garden. They talk for hours. And by the time the sun sets, the prince knows one thing with absolute certainty. He will marry this girl, or he will marry no one. 5 years later, in 1612, they are married. And on that day, the prince gives his new wife a title that means the exalted one of the palace. He calls her Mumtaz Mahal. Now let me teach you a very important word. The word is devotion. Devotion means deep, strong, and never-ending love and loyalty. When you have devotion to someone, you do not just love them on good days. You love them on hard days. You love them when they are sick. You love them when they are far away. You love them when the world is against you. Shah Jahan had devotion for Mumtaz Mahal that was almost unbelievable. They were married for 19 years, and in those 19 years they were rarely apart. While other kings had many wives, Shah Jahan had eyes for only one. While other rulers traveled with armies, Shah Jahan traveled with Mumtaz by his side. She was not just his wife, she was his best friend. She was his advisor. She was the only person in the world who could calm his anger and soften his heart. Together, they had 14 children. Yes, 14. In a time when many babies died young, this was both a blessing and a tragedy. 7 of their children survived. 7 did not. And through every joy and every loss, their devotion to each other only grew stronger. Mumtaz Mahal was not a quiet queen sitting in a palace. She was active. She was powerful. She signed official documents. She gave money to the poor. She designed gardens. She read poetry. She was, in every way, the king's equal, and Shah Jahan trusted her completely. But here is the thing about love that history teaches us again and again. The deeper you love, the more it hurts when that love is taken away. The year is 1631. Mumtaz Mahal is 38 years old. She is pregnant with her 14th child, and she is traveling with the king's army to the city of Burhanpur. The journey is hard, the heat is unbearable, the roads are dusty, and Mumtaz Mahal is weak. She has given birth to 13 children before this. Her body is tired. On the 17th of June, 1631, she gives birth to a baby girl. The baby is healthy. But Mumtaz Mahal is not. She is bleeding. She is burning with fever. The best doctors in the empire rush to her side. They try everything. They use herbs. They use prayers. They use every medicine known in the 17th century. But it is not enough. As she lies dying, Mumtaz Mahal looks at her husband, the most powerful man in India, the man who commands armies of 1 million soldiers, the man who owns mountains of gold and diamonds, and she makes him promise something. She asks him to build her the most beautiful tomb the world has ever seen. She asks him to make it a place where people from every corner of the earth will come to remember her. She asks him to make it a symbol of their love, a love that even death cannot destroy. And then, with her head resting in his hands, she closes her eyes. She is gone. Shah Jahan collapses. The historians say he did not eat for 8 days. He did not attend court for a year. His hair turned white almost overnight. He wore only white clothes, the color of mourning. The word mourning means the deep sadness and pain you feel when someone you love dies. It is more than crying. It is a darkness that sits inside your heart and refuses to leave. Shah Jahan was mourning, and the entire empire mourned with him. But mourning was not enough. He had made a promise, and a king who breaks his word is not a king at all. 2 years after Mumtaz Mahal's death, Shah Jahan stands on the banks of the Yamuna River in the city of Agra. He looks at the land in front of him. It is flat. It is empty. It is perfect. He closes his eyes, and in his mind, he sees it. Not a tomb, not a grave, a paradise on earth. He calls the best architects from Persia, from Turkey, from India, and from Europe. He tells them, "Build me a structure that will make the angels weep. Build me something that will last until the end of time." The chief architect is a man named Ustad Ahmad Lahori. He is a master of design, a poet of stone, a man who understands that architecture is not just about walls and roofs. Architecture is about emotion, and Shah Jahan gives him one instruction that is both simple and impossible. Make it perfect. The word masterpiece means the greatest work that an artist, writer, or builder ever creates. It is the best thing they will ever make. It is the work that defines their life. Shah Jahan wanted a masterpiece, and so the work began. 20,000 workers, 20,000 men carrying marble, cutting stone, laying tiles, carving flowers, lifting blocks that weighed as much as 5 elephants. They came from every corner of India and beyond. Stone cutters from Rajasthan, marble workers from Makrana, jewelers from Baghdad, calligraphers from Syria, garden designers from Persia. The main building material was white marble. But this was not ordinary marble. This marble was so pure that it changes color with the light. At sunrise, it looks soft pink. At noon, it is blinding white. At sunset, it turns golden. And under the full moon, it shimmers like silver. The word shimmer means to shine with a soft, shaking light, like sunlight on water, like stars behind clouds. The Taj Mahal shimmers, and the decoration? It is beyond imagination. 28 types of precious and semi-precious stones were used. Jade from China, crystal from Tibet, turquoise from Persia, sapphire from Sri Lanka, carnelian from Arabia, 28 different jewels cut by hand and placed into the marble to create flowers, vines, and Arabic writing from the holy book of the Quran. The main entrance is framed by a massive arch. The dome rises like a crown toward heaven. The 4 minarets tall towers stand at each corner, slightly tilted outward, so that if they fall in an earthquake, they will not crash into the tomb. Even the mistakes were perfect. The garden is designed in the Persian style. A long pool of water runs from the gate to the tomb, reflecting the building like a mirror. Trees line the path. Flowers bloom in every season. Shah Jahan visited the construction site almost every day. He watched, he corrected, he demanded more beauty, more precision, more perfection. And slowly, over 17 years, the tomb rose from the earth. But Shah Jahan was not finished. In 1653, the Taj Mahal was complete. It was the most expensive building in the history of the Mughal Empire. It had cost what would be almost $1 billion today. It had taken 22 years from the moment of Mumtaz Mahal's death, and Shah Jahan finally had a place to bury his wife. But his own story was about to end in tragedy. Shah Jahan had 4 sons, and in the tradition of kings, these sons did not love each other. They wanted the throne, they wanted power, and they were willing to kill for it. The 3rd son, Aurangzeb, was the most ruthless. He murdered his brothers. He declared his father unfit to rule. And in 1658, he imprisoned Shah Jahan in the Agra Fort. The Agra Fort is a massive red stone palace just 2 kilometers from the Taj Mahal. From his window, Shah Jahan could see the white marble dome of his wife's tomb. Every morning, every evening, every day for the last 8 years of his life, he could see it. But he could never touch it again. The man who had built the most beautiful building in the world died as a prisoner, looking at the proof of his love. When he died in 1666, his body was finally carried across the river and placed in the Taj Mahal, next to Mumtaz Mahal, the king and his queen, together at last, not in life, but in eternity. The word eternity means time without end, forever. It means something that never stops, never fades, never dies. Their bodies lie side by side in a simple underground chamber. But above them rises a building that has survived earthquakes, wars, pollution, and 4 centuries of time. And still, every single day, 20,000 people stand before it and feel something they cannot explain. They feel awe. They feel sadness. They feel hope. They feel that love, real love, might actually be the only thing that survives us. Now, before we finish, let me bring this story back to you. Because learning English is not just about grammar rules and vocabulary lists. Learning English is about opening doors to stories like this. It is about being able to stand in front of the Taj Mahal and read the poetry carved into its walls. It is about understanding the emotion in a historical letter, or the power in a documentary, or the beauty in a song. Every word you learn is a brick in your own palace. Let me leave you with 5 powerful words from today's story. Write them down. Use them this week. 1. Devotion. Deep, never-ending love and loyalty. His devotion to his wife inspired the world. 2. Mourning. Deep sadness after someone dies. The country was in mourning for 30 days. 3. Masterpiece. The greatest work someone ever creates. The Taj Mahal is a masterpiece of architecture. 4. Shimmer. To shine with a soft, shaking light. The marble seemed to shimmer under the moonlight. 5. Eternity. Time without end. Forever. Their love was written in eternity. These are not just words, they are tools. They are keys. They are the bricks you are using to build your own future. 400 years ago, a king looked at an empty riverbank and saw a palace that did not exist yet. He had lost the person he loved most. He had lost his throne. He had lost his throne. He had lost his freedom, but he kept his promise. And because of that promise, millions of people still travel to Agra. They still stand in silence before the Taj Mahal. They still wipe tears from their eyes when they learn what it means. It means that love is not weak. Love is not small. Love is not temporary. Love is the most powerful force in human history. And just like Shah Jahan built something eternal with his hands, you are building something eternal with your mind. Every English word you learn is a promise you are making to yourself. Every story you listen to is a bridge you are building to another world. Do not stop. Do not give up. Do not let anyone tell you that your journey is too slow or too small. Because the Taj Mahal was not built in a day. It was built one stone at a time. And your English? It is being built one word at a time. If this story moved you, if it awakened something in your heart, hit that like button. Let this story travel a little further. And if you want more stories that turn history into power, language into emotion, and learning into something you actually feel, subscribe to Awakening Avenue. This is where we do not just tell stories, we awaken minds. Drop a comment below. What is the most beautiful building you have ever seen? Or tell me, which love story from history should we explore next? Until next time, my friends, keep learning, keep listening, and keep building your own masterpiece.